Hi friends, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, Bikes Food and Fun. Today I'll be talking about top 10 flop bikes of India that failed to impress the Indian customer. So the first bike in my lineup is LML Endrino. It was introduced in year 2001. It had an 109cc 4-stroke 3-valve engine with 14 liters of fuel tank. The bike had maximum power of 9 PS at 8500 rpm and maximum torque of 8.3 Newton meter at 6000 rpm. These figures might not sound that great in today's scenario, but back then when it was introduced, the biking market was dominated by Splendors and Passions. So this bike could have made a separate league for itself. Now talking about the design aspect of the bike, it was a semi-faired bike, or you can say it had a bikini fairing. And back then, when we Indians hardly saw such kind of bikes on road, when I personally saw this bike for the first time, I think in 2002 or 2001 something, I was like, man, what a machine, what a piece of art. Because we hardly saw such kind of bikes on road, which had semi-fairing attached to it. So why this bike couldn't do well? This bike could do 100 km per hour with that sporty design, indicators embedded in the fairing. Well, it had that performance where it could easily make mockery of its rivals like Splendors and Passions. But why this bike couldn't do well? Well, lack of marketing. I still remember the advertisement of this bike where I could see everything apart from bike itself. The second main reason for its downfall was lack of after-sales service, unavailability of spare parts, improper service networks, which led to the downfall of this bike. Personally, I feel this bike could have done really well in this Indian market because it had all that bells and whistles to do well, but sadly it couldn't and it got discontinued. The second bike in my list is Kinetic Blaze. Many of you might think that Suzuki Bergman 125 is the first proper maxi scooter that India got, right? Well, actually that's not true. The first proper maxi scooter that India got was Kinetic Blaze. Kinetic introduced this scooter to compete against 150cc motorcycles, where it was a different concept that a scooter is competing against motorcycle. The bike had 165cc engine which produced maximum power of 11.6 bhp with 12.5 Newton meter of peak torque. This bike had quite a unique design and heavy looks. But the thing is, the concept of a scooter competing with motorcycles didn't go that well with Indians. And also the other factors was, it was high on maintenance, low on fuel efficiency. That resulted in its downfall. Also Kinetic poor sales service, unavailability of spare parts led to its downfall. The dominating bike market completely suppressed the scooter. Hence, it failed to get the desired number. This led to its discontinuation. The third bike in my list is LML Craft. This is the second LML bike in my list. Well, this Indian manufacturer has always faced difficulty in pitching its products towards Indian market. Well, talking about the bike, it had 150cc engine. It produced maximum power of 13.5 bhp with maximum torque of 12.8 Newton meter. Well, it was competing against Bajaj Pulsar, which was market leader of 150cc segments at that time. Hence, it was required that it should be always a level up against Bajaj Pulsar, which has failed to do so. Now talking about the design, well, looks can be subjective. Few might find that the looks of this bike quite unique, while few might find that it's quite quirky. Well, personally, I found that the design of this bike was quite quirky. The bike had a massive 17 liters of fuel tank, sat on a unique exposed frame. Many of you looking at the frame might mistaken it as a delta box frame, which wasn't the case. But this bike failed to stand strong against the likes of Bajaj Pulsar and CBZ. Hence, it was discontinued from LML. The fourth bike in my list is Yamaha Fiero. Hey, wait, what? Surprised? Shocked? Confused? Yamaha Fiero in this list? Am I insane of putting Yamaha Fiero in list of top 10 flop bikes? Well, look at the picture of the bike first. I am talking about Yamaha Fiero 125. It was the first Fiero ever introduced by Yamaha in India. It had maximum power of 10.75 bhp, producing maximum torque of 10.4 Newton meter. This bike came with front disc brakes. This 125cc bike could easily give 150cc bike a run for their money. But despite of having all its technology, Yamaha failed in design aspect. The alien looking headlight of this bike definitely gave a sore to the eye. It wasn't well digested by the Indians. Therefore, it failed to get the design numbers in Indian market and hence it was discontinued. The fifth bike in my list is Suzuki GS 150R. It was introduced in November 2008 as Suzuki's first model in a highly competitive 150cc segment in India. The bike had 149cc single-cylinder 4-stroke engine. It produced maximum power of 13.8 bhp and maximum torque of 13.4 Nm. What made this bike unique was it was mated to a 6-speed gearbox for better performance on highway. It was the first in this segment. It was competing head-on with Honda Unicorn 150cc, which was the market leader in 150cc commuter segment at that time. In fact, Honda Unicorn 150 is still preferred by many as this bike has everything to fulfill its duty as 150cc commuter. Hence, Suzuki GS 150R slowly faded away in front of ever-shining Honda Unicorn 150. Also, Suzuki introduced Suzuki Gixxer and Gixxer SF 150 in India. These both bikes completely changed the fortunes of Suzuki two-wheelers in India. What they did for Suzuki was the same what Yamaha R15 and FZ16 did for Yamaha. Hence, Suzuki two-wheelers shifted their entire focus on Gixxer series. This was final nail in the coffin for Suzuki GS 150R. It was a good bike but failed to stand against its competition. Therefore, it was discontinued. The sixth bike in my list is TVS Fiero F2. It is one of those bikes that was introduced when TVS Suzuki had its collaboration. After the success of TVS Fiero, TVS introduced TVS Fiero F2 with improved design. The main aim of this bike was to bring power along with efficiency numbers to the consumers. It had 150cc engine which produced maximum power of 12 bhp and maximum torque of 10.4 Nm. It was quite decent numbers for its segment, but due to its simple and subtle design, it failed to attract consumers towards itself. Hence, the sales graph was ever declining of this bike, which led to its discontinuation from Indian market. The seventh bike in my list is Kinetic Laser GF 170. Aiming the sport enthusiast who wanted a bike within a budget, Kinetic launched Laser GF 170. Bike had twin headlamp, digital gear indicator and a curved tank. The frame of the bike resembled a delta box framework. This bike had 165cc single cylinder air-cooled engine. It produced maximum power of 14.8 bhp and maximum torque of 14.2 Nm. This was the first 4-wheel bike introduced in India for the masses. Well, talking about the specs of the bike, it was definitely much ahead of its time. This bike sat between Pulsar 150 and Charisma. Also, it was trying to take away the market share of Pulsar 180. Now, most of you will ask, what about Pulsar 220? Well, it was yet to be launched at that time. Although this machine was equipped with all the essentials to be a successful machine, but Kinetic's lack of marketing, I still don't remember the bike's commercial as such. The only time when this bike got a brief exposure on television screen was in the movie called Gaia, which was starring Tushar Kapoor. There was a chase scene in that movie where this bike was focused all along. Also, unavailability of spare parts, poor after sales service led to its downfall. Hence, Kinetic failed to sell this bike as expected, which resulted in its discontinuation from Indian market. The 8th bike in my list is Bajaj Boxer BM 150. One of the most affordable offering from Bajaj Motors was Bajaj Boxer BM 150. This bike had a 145cc 4-stroke single-cylinder engine. It produced maximum power of 12 bhp and maximum torque of 12.8 Nm. This bike was mated to a 4-speed transmission box. Bajaj two-wheeler majorly hoped that with this bike rugged design, simplicity and high output will make this bike a winner in rural market. However, this bike failed to generate the enthusiasm among rural buyers and could not replicate the success of Hero Honda Splendor which Bajaj had hoped for. Also, this bike didn't took off successfully as Bajaj had expected it. Also, the fuel efficiency of this bike was quite low compared to its lower cc siblings. This resulted that this bike was a major flop in Indian market. Hence, it was discontinued by Bajaj. The ninth bike in my list is Mahindra Stalio. Mahindra Stalio was an 106cc motorcycle. It was introduced in ever so competitive 100cc segment. It had maximum power of 7.2 bhp and maximum torque of 8 Nm. Mahindra aimed to create a benchmark by this bike. They also had Amir Khan as their brand ambassador for this bike. But this bike had its own set of cons. Poor build quality, bad brake, lot of vibrations, poor switch gear. Hence it received lot of bad reviews from lot of auto magazines. Therefore, there were hardly any takers for this bike, which resulted in poor sales figures, and ultimately it was discontinued by Mahindra. The 10th bike in my list is Hero MotoCorp Extreme 2014. It was the 4th iteration of Hero Honda CBZ, or I can say 3rd iteration of Hero Extreme. The bike got lots of cosmetic changes. It came with an 149cc air-cooled single-cylinder engine which produced maximum power of 14.2 bhp and maximum torque of 12.8 Nm. It was the successor of ultimate Hero Honda CBZ. However, the upgrades from Hero Honda CBZ to Hero MotoCorp CBZ Extreme to Extreme became the ultimate downgrades. The design of this bike was quite quirky. The only angle from which this bike looked good was from the rear view. The bike, which was the successor of Ultimate Hero Honda Extreme, just felt like someone has taken off the flesh completely from Hero Honda CBZ, and what remained is a bare skeleton. That was the design of this new Extreme. Also, it was launched in the time when people gave importance to looks as well as performance, and sadly this bike failed in both these aspects. So there were hardly any takers for this bike, which resulted that this bike was a major flop for Hero MotoCorp, and it was discontinued very soon. So this was my list of top 10 flop bikes in India which were made for masses. If you like my content, then do like this video and leave your comments in the comment box. And don't forget to subscribe my channel and also press the bell icon to get my future updates.